Okay, so right now, if we miss the ball and it hits the bottom of the canvas, the game continues, but that is actually the game over state, right? Like if this happens, if we miss hitting it with the paddle, then the game should stop. So let's go and update the code to manifest this behavior. Again, we can go about implementing this in a few different ways. Here is one strategy. We can go and work with the bounce operation of the ball, since that's where we detect we've hit any of these four edges of the canvas. So let's go to bounce, and here's what we can do. We can basically take this condition, which is when we hit the bottom of the canvas, and let's take this out, and we want to treat this especially. So oops, this is the condition, else if. Right, so we want to treat this especially. We can change the behavior of the bounce to do two things. One is to change the direction of the ball, the movement of the ball. The other is to sort of signal whether it did bounce off or it didn't. So to like return true or false. So we can say like return true, that means you did bounce off an edge. But if you hit the bottom edge, you should not bounce off and you should return false. And so this way we sort of have the bounce, in addition to its main responsibility, to also signal to us that it had hit the bottom edge of the canvas. Okay, so if bounce now behaves this way, we can go back to the main and we can turn this into a condition, right? Because it does the job of bouncing, but it also returns a Boolean. So we can turn this into a conditional. And if this thing is true, then we're good. But if it's not true, so if like the negation of this, if it's false, then we can just return and stop the game loop, right? So let's save this, come over here, let's go and try to hit it with the paddle, and now I'm going to move the paddle aside, let it fall down, and there you go. And so everything is stopped. And so stopping like this may not be the best user experience, so maybe we can like give a alert and say something like game over. All right, so let's try this again. Let's hit it one time and then let it fall through. And so there you go. Now it says game over. So this is closer to the behavior that we want. We can make this look a little better. So what we can do to help another reader to better understand our code is to deliberately capture what it means for bounce to return false to us. We can like define a variable. We can say is game over and set it to false to begin with. And so rather than like turning this into a conditional, we can just capture is game over, right? And so if this returns true, we negate it, and that means game is not over. But if it returns false and we negate it, then it means game actually is over. So now we can go and condition on is game over. And so if game is not over, we would again call draw, but if it is over, then we go and put an alert out there and say game over. All right, let's give this a try one more time. Let's hit it one time, let it fall through the next time, and there we go, we got a game over. Fantastic.